Welcome to Dark Hammer Deck Part 2. In this series we're going to take the Dark Hammer deck, theme deck, and we're going to modify it using the free cards from Pokemon Trading Card Online. This is the original deck. As you can see, it has a lot of cards, especially energy. What we're going to do is we're going to remove some of these cards in order to add cards that I think will add reliability to this deck and make it more competitive. First cards we're going to remove are the Licky line. As mentioned in my previous video, these are used only as blockers. I find that they're pretty useless, so that's gotta go. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about our energies. Theme decks are notorious for having more energies than absolutely required. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove these 9 energies, and we're going to place 4 double colorless to keep the same energy amount, but add kind of more acceleration and free up some slots. Next we're going to remove a Scrafty and a Pancham. This is because we need more slots open so that we can add in supporters later. Scrafty is not very good. I don't think that Scrafty is a good card, so I'm kind of upset if I'm able to draw 2 of them in my hand. Pancham, there's 4 Pancham in the original deck, and there's only 2 Pangoro, so having 4 Pancham doesn't make much sense in my opinion. We're also going to remove 2 Energy Switch, which has no use in the original deck that I could find, and there's also going to take out 2 Roller Skates, which is not reliable enough for me. We're going to add 3 Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is a great card because it has the 100 health, which Licky has 130. Kangaskhan also has Call to Family, which is a useful attack as it allows me to take 2 cards from my deck, 2 Pokemon cards, and put them on my bench as long as they're basic. This allows me to get out the Pokemon that I need to start evolving. Because this deck relies a lot on evolved Pokemon, you need to get those Pokemon out right away. Kangaskhan also has Bullet Punch, which could be used to deal some damage, but because it uses coin flips, it's unreliable. So I try to avoid it. I also included an Evo Soda because, as mentioned before, getting those evolved Pokemon out is very important, and Evo Soda allows you to search for the evolutions. Hard Charm is very useful because Hariyama is very bulky and makes your Pokemon last longer in general. I like to attach these to Hariyama and Pangoro, especially Hariyama, because when you're fighting a water-based or fire-based deck, they have to expel a lot of resources to remove him and take 1 prize. As mentioned before, I put in 4 double colorless energy. This allows me to kind of energy accelerate. This can be used on Pangoro and Hariyama to great effect. I included a lot of supporters in this deck. This is the biggest change. I included 3 Ns, 2 Professor Sycamores, and 2 Torinos. These are our draw cards. I also included Pokemon Fan Club and Pokemon Center Lady because this allows me to get more Pokemon out, and Center Lady allows me to keep my big Pokemon in. This is, as you can see, this is the new deck. This is what it will look like if you make all the changes that I made. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play a game. This is a game played between me and Fuzzy Cow and Daddy EX. This game is chosen more for its entertainment value than its practical purpose. This deck is not good by any means, though it can get some wins if you have great starts and are lucky. As you can see, I start with a lot of starter Pokemon, basic Pokemon. A lot of the ones that I kind of want, especially the Pancham, the Manfu, and the Machop. This is a great start for me, and you can see that with my original starting hand, I have a pretty good idea on where I want to go. My first move is going to take this Professor's Letter and get 2 Fighting Energy. This is so I can both attach 1 to Hitmonlee and threaten the knockout of Electro, and we're also going to be able to attach 1 to Mindfu if I don't want the knockout. It's his turn, and what he's going to do is he's going to play Team Plasma Grunt and get out a White Kyurem EX. The White Kyurem EX is threatening, but it's going to take a little while to get up. Meanwhile, I'm going to be trying to snipe Pokemon from using Hitmonlee. He does attach Plasma Energy to the Chalet, which is interesting because I'm going to be targeting it. I guess he doesn't know what Hitmonlee does. So I play out my hands, and now I'm able to make some more moves. This is done purely for deck thinning purposes. And now I'm going to use Stretch Kick to try to deal some damage to that Chalet. I'm in a pretty good situation here. His White Kyurem is going to take a little bit of time to load up, and his Electrode is weak to my Fighting Energy. I can keep sniping Pokemon off the bench using Stretch Kick for a pretty long time until he gets his White Kyurem loaded up. So I feel pretty confident that I'll be in a good situation when this is ready to move. I know that it's not going to last forever, so I'm just going to try to deal as much damage as I can. Right now I'm trying to look for a Hariyama because I know that it's going to be good, especially with that Machamp that I just pulled out. I am loving this situation right now, and now I'm going to look for the Hariyama. Unfortunately, Hariyama is prized, so I'm going to settle for a Mind Shao. I don't know whether I want a Evo Potion to get the other Mind Shao or a Hard Charm, so I'm going to look around and see what I need and see what he can do. As you can see, White Inferno does some damage based on health or damage that it's taken. I'm going to settle for the Hard Charm because it'll allow me to take 2 hits from the White Kyurem. I get the prize. Unfortunately, it is not my Hirayama, so I guess I don't really care about that guy on the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start loading up Pancham because I know Pangoro can do some work while Hirayama is still prized. So as you can see, it didn't last forever. It's now time for me to face the music. I still don't have much of an answer for this White Kyurem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to still do some damage. This Dredagon over there has 110 health, which means if I stretch kick and I hit with Pancham or Hirayama, I'm going to knock it out. So I'm going to prep him right now using the final stretch kit that I can. I could have healed, but I chose against it because I think that there are better Pokemon. I have more use that I can use. I basically going to sacrifice him because without the Hirayama I can't use him, and I'm going to end because I need more acceleration, more energy, pretty much more of everything. He touches the Crystal Edge, which is a little overkill in my opinion. I was going to be knocked out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And now it's time for me to kind of try to get out of this hole that White Kyurem EX has put me in. He puts out some Pokemon. I'm not really worried about it. The only one that's really threatening is that Eevee, because people have been running Espeon to counter the Lucario EX, and so I am kind of threatened about that. But right now it's not a problem, so I'm going to try to get out a Pangoro. And that's what this whole thing was all about. I was just trying to get out Pangoro. Now that I have him, I feel much more confident in the situation. Scraggy's not doing any job anymore, so I can sacrifice him. He's not there to get out my Pangoro, so he's dead to me, and I kill him. He's gonna stall for the prize. There you go, he's gone. And now it's time for me to knock out this White Kyurem. I know that I can knock him out with Landorus, and this allowed me to get some energy acceleration. I'm fine risking Landorus because I don't think I need him. Also, I'm going to try to load up Machamp because without Hirayama, he's the only fighting Pokemon that really takes advantage of his unique ability. So I don't know who I really want to put out there. So I'm going to put out my go-to Manchow. This allows me to deal some damage while being relatively safe, especially with that second Manchow. I take a bit of a risk by ending here. This gets rid of his full hand, and it makes it so that I have more options. I guess fewer options because I got a pretty bad hand, but still I think it was the right move because he had a lot of cards in his hand, and I was afraid of him getting the energy to get that Espeon out. He does it anyway, so maybe it was a bad move, but as you can see, my Manchu does his job, stays alive, and deals some free damage. Now I'm kind of prepping him because I'm not going to deal a lot of damage with Manchu. So here I go with my Pangoro. I'm threatening the knockout here, and it's now the ball is in his court to see what he does. Now he makes a pretty good move here. I think he knows that if he stays, Suicune's knocked out, so he's going to retreat to Espeon. Now here's kind of a blunder. His Espeon could deal some serious damage to my Machamp, but he decides not to. I'm not entirely sure why. So what he's going to do is he's going to knock out the Manchow. So now my Mind-Fu combo is absolutely destroyed, but this means that I free up that energy for the Machamp. So Machamp, he's going to roll, and he's going to absolutely destroy the Espeon. Now I got a pretty good end there. I was again afraid that he would have cards that are useful to him, so I end him down to 1. So now it's kind of a race. There are a lot of Pokemon on his bench that have some damage. Remember, I did that 30 damage, so I can knock out the Dredagon with a Hirayama or Pangoro. I see that I have a double colorless and a dark energy, so I'm going to try to load up my Pangoro, who is basically guaranteed to be able to deal some damage next turn. I know I can take a hit from Dredagon because his big 90 damage was wasted on my Machamp. So I feel pretty good. I know that I can knock out this Dredagon next turn, or if he switches to Suicune, I can knock that out. I could also knock out his Electrode or his Eevee The one that I can't is his White Kyurem, but his White Kyurem is again pretty far from being able to attack. So I feel pretty confident. I have a plan at this point. My plan is to take down this Dredagon and then take down the next Pokemon that he took out, hopefully with either Machamp or something like that. Now I do have the Pokemon Center Lady, which is pretty important because my Pangoro has low health and it's going to get even lower. So there he goes. Next attack knocks out my Pangoro, but because I have Pokemon Center Lady, it's okay. I can stall with him. And so now I deal that 80 damage, prepping him for Machamp's next turn. He's going to, and unless he switches, this White Kyurem is knocked out. He could have the Fire Energy, which would win him the game, but if he doesn't, it's over. So now we're going to wait and see if he has the Fire Energy. He's taken a long time. He's really thinking about it, which means he probably doesn't have it. And because of that, I'm now able to switch out, get Machamp out, and he's going to rock this White Kyurem. Thank you, Daddy EX. I thought it was a fun game, and I hope you liked the video. Have a good day.